warm lights always help with the visuals.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. I'm naked tonight. It's cool. You see the difference? Blue light is harsh. Blue light will make you older. Unless you get.
What's up? Peace, peace, peace. Who is that? Peace. Let's see. Make sure your volume.
Oh boy.
What's that?
I know I've been chatting. Let me open up with some, shake something. I say, come on in. We're clearing out the space, calling forth the ascended ancestors. I say,
What's happening, man? Ain't seen you in a while.
peace. Oh yeah, you in for one. I say to all ancestors known and unknown
Yes.
who are assisting us and not depleting us or bringing harm to us.
Gratitude.
You are welcome here, I say to you. Hey, Wonders, love and life. Love and life. We're going to talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for
Let's
that love.
talk
Yeah, Woman's love and
about
light.
it.
Peace to you, the real
Yes.
supreme divine masculine.
Yes, roll call.
Yeah.
Who in class today? Because class is in session.
Brooke Jimerson, Johnny, Empress Callie Williams, Z. Yeah, peace to you.
Ashe.
Mr. Muerte.
What's up, T. Thomas?
Peace,
You made
peace,
it.
T.
You always be like,
Thomas.
I made it. And I can
Intuitive
hear
Juju.
it.
Yeah.
I made it.
Letitia Cleves. Yeah. Yeah.
Peace, family.
Peace, y'all.
Peace to everybody
Glad
in
y'all
here.
in here with us.
We hope some of y'all got to watch the webinar last night.
How you pronounce that? What's that, baby? Bajins?
Ephraim Oder.
Okay. Yeah.
Ephraim.
Ephraim.
Yeah.
Ephraim Oder and Bajins messages. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes. Let's talk about it. We are officially in hell. We are officially seeing a new level of manifestation of the shadow aspect that we all have participated in creating. Yes, am I telling you that you have a responsibility for how things are, both what is beneficial and not? Yes. The conversation tonight is going to be a conversation that is going to be mind-opening if you allow it to be. It will span your consciousness. Anytime you hear somebody say something and it challenges what you believe, that's an opportunity for your consciousness to expand. Okay? So we're expanding consciousness tonight. And as we are getting into this, I want to talk about the fact that the portals, all of the entities, all of the chemicals that have been put in our bodies, all of the things being sprayed in the air. Earth right now is a feeding frenzy for entities. And that does not exclude anybody. How did we get in this hell? I'm going to tell you how.
Mm.
First of all, most of us were taught something called spiritual bypassing. We had no idea what that was. Had no clue, most of us, right? So we have conditioned ourselves to ignore what seems threatening, dark, evil, and demonic. Stay away from that. Go to the light. Go to the angels. Look at these glorious angels. Right? This is the conditioning spiritually on this planet. Dark goddesses, bad. Stay away. Any goddess that's dark, that means that it's harmful. We are such fucking hypocrites in our ignorance because for most people, they just don't know any better. How do you do better and you don't know better? So what happens is, to avoid the pain that's in your genes, that's in your DNA, we found coping mechanisms to make us feel comfortable, right? So we go into the coping mechanisms and we use those, right? And it was okay for a while. Now that the veil has been removed and all is being revealed, now that the true end of the world has happened and we are coming into a new galactic year. This is the first galactic year. The first. You are living in the first galactic year based on the galactic time clock. So right now, this is like a level in Dante's hell that was depicted. But you must remember that heaven and hell is a consciousness and a dimension because it's a consciousness. So every moment of the day, you choose which consciousness you're in. So even though all of these entities, I'm not even calling them demons. And the reason that I'm not, because of something so simple. The people, the 13 bloodlines that run this world, a lot of us, we are letting go of all the other things we found out that they lied to us about. How about the food pyramid that we were brainwashed and indoctrinated in a very socialistic fashion, right? To believe that this is what we should be eating. And then you get older and you can't get rid of the mucus and you got sinus infections because you've been eating dairy most of your life. Even your mama probably was putting it in your mouth as a baby. So now, like, that shit is literally left an imprint on your genetics. This is sorcery. The formulas. If they give your mama a vaccine when she get pregnant with you, that vaccine is going to impact you as well. So everything that we have been learning, it has opened our minds, but it has also been painful because we have been coping and spiritual bypassing. That is no longer acceptable. It's not fucking acceptable. Not in this world, because in the world that you are in now, in this fractal of the simulation that we call the matrix that we're in now, this is a convergence of heaven and hell. So for some people, this is going to be beneficial for them. For some people, maybe they have been in hell most of their lives and they're figuring it out, they're working through their trauma, they're learning how to master themselves, right? So you don't have to spiritual bypass anymore with stuff that make you feel good. So, don't think that you're different from religious people if you have finally discovered the truth about religion and who created the monotheistic religions and why. But if in your relationship with yourself, you are literally, if you struggle with negative, critical self-talk and you let that shit just reverberate through your days, you are the devil and you are torturing yourself with ghosts.
You talked about
Hell and the depiction is here. And what's in the reality It's what is projected out here from us. If you have EU melanin, if you have neuromelanin, even the more, because our neuromelanin is being fed by the dark energy that's here. So now it's like, wait a minute, I've been loving light since I left religion, but I got all of this darkness. I got all of this pain. I got all of this trauma. I got all of these wounds. I got all of this dark energy. My fucking skin and eyeballs and hair is dark matter. But nobody taught us what to do with it. Nobody taught us the code of ethics for dark matter. Nobody taught us, see, dark matter was created for this time in hell, which we call the underworld. And we have taught about this in past videos and webinars. I've been talking about this since 2006, putting it up on YouTube. We're here now. The dreams and visions and prophecies that I was having 10 years ago are just now happening. Go back and watch my old videos, and you will see for yourself how accurate I have been. I have been called to be the oracle of the new matrix, to help people cross over from the old way to the new way, from the old earth to the new earth. So for the first 40 years of my life, I went through a hell simulation where every scenario of torture and hell you can think of, I had to go through. I earned, you hear me? I earned the right to stand in this space as a leader and speak to people and know that my words will reverberate through whatever bullshit is torturing you. Forget about the devil. Forget about demons. Focus on the fact that if you are EU melanated, or you could be any other race, and we were smart enough to come in disguises. So if you may be a different race, if this shit resonates, then it is what it is, because you're going to get the truth here. So when I speak like this, your resonance is ultimately what matters. So if you think this should apply to you, then so it is. Who are we to argue with that? But what I know and what I see is that when you take a dark being and you take them away from their spiritual hierarchy and their heritage, and then you give them some shit you call light beings, and then these people knew the underworld was coming. They knew that only people who work through and manage their darkness would be able to still thrive and heal in these chaotic times. They knew this. They knew that I already traveled back in time to see the meetings. They told him, this is what the Sibyls told them. They said, when the time clock resets and we get into the age of Aquarius, you will no longer be the apex. What do you mean? Well, portals are going to open to other dimensions, and there is a different type of gamma ray energy and plasma that's going to enter based on the photon belt and where you are. And people who have EU melanin, neuromelanin, automatically have a strong receptivity, connectivity to this energy. So this energy will be feeding them and making them stronger. It's going to make you weaker. So they said, we got to do something. I traveled all the way through time to see this shit. They said, block out the sun. Oh, they're of the sun, block out the sun. So then we got that. Kim Dome. We go deny. Then we finally say, whatever. Yeah, we're spraying. We're just trying to help with manage Mother Nature. Like, motherfucker, damn. You want to colonize Mother Nature too? Like, shit. Was it not enough to take her people? So what I'm saying to you is, love and light is not going to be what allows healing to take place. It will take place in darkness. believe it or not, your own darkness is where all of your power, is where everything that you've been missing is. But they had to trick us. So this is exactly what it is. And you're gonna feel this shit inside of you because they beat this shit and whipped this shit in our ancestors and told them, worship Jesus, worship Allah. This shit is beat into us. So when you first interact with a dark goddess energy, that first feeling is like, ooh. Because what you feel is the power. But they ain't got the 5D fucking towers to interact. So they have to interact and do rituals through us at something called award shows. Because there is no other way. So we'll just use the people. So basically 5G towers is a 2.0 of indigenous people. We have always been connected to nature. Always been connected to the unseen realms outside of the visible light spectrum, aka darkness, aka a place where they do not have real estate. They have real estate in the light because the light manifests from the darkness. Light is secondary to darkness, so they have real estate here. So you get stuck when you're trying to be in the real estate and on the land that belongs to somebody else. You get stuck dimensionally, emotionally. You get stuck. You get in a sunken place and you don't know how to get out. You love and light yourself to death and nothing changes. You ask for help. They give you more love and light. Nothing changes. And you're like, it's me. I'm fucking broken. Nothing works for me. It's not working for me. That means it's me. Because we've been programmed to feel like fucking victims all the time. To always think it's something wrong with us. It's me. No, it's not you. It's the matrix. It's the simulation. And you've been a participant. Do not forget this word, spiritual bypassing. Read as much as you can about it and identify what parts of that resonate with you. Now, let me say this. When you are in hell, there are different rules of engagement. So the shit is so real now where anything is permitted because we are in a time of chaos magic, which means the only people who are going to do well are the people who know that I am the fucking predator because I'm not the prey and there is no in-between animal. So out of those two animals, you pick which one you want to be. Now, how many of y'all here, honestly, be honest, it ain't but one or two. If you've been the predator, give me a 1. If you have been the prey, give me a 2. And if you thought it was something in between there and you was trying to be that, give me a 3. Let's just see. Let's just see. Because if you don't communicate it and be honest and get it out, you can't move past it. I got some apex predators in here. I got some prey in here. It's beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. Who are we? Yeah. What have we been in? You got to let the simulation know. I recognize this shit as a simulation and this is the one that I've been in. That's right. You can't switch programs until you identify the programs and identify the fucking virus, and then you can reprogram the system. Ashe. I love the people who gave 3s because most people would not want to admit that. Are we neutralizing ego tonight? Because that's how you level up. That's the only way. In the beginning. Once you cruising, then you can use the ego in ways that's beneficial for your life. But for now, we just need to neutralize it because our ego is still through the perspective of our wounded inner child. Ashe. Now, exactly what I thought was going to happen is what happened. I see that it was a lot of people who had 3s. I was a 3. You too? I didn't want to be the sheep or the predator. So I had created illusion in my mind, and that's how I manage my relationships, my business, my dreams, my goals, my aspirations, and now my healing journey.
You adapted.
Which basically means I completely conformed. And if we use the movie Matrix as an idea, we will remember the Indian man that he ran into in the subway station. He was so attached to his program where he didn't even want to hear what Neo had to say. He was trying to tell Neo, no, this it right here. Now this what I do. Like literally, you are a fucking slave. You are a prisoner in an invisible prison, and you think that you're free, but you know you're really not free because you know you're in a prison, but you accept it because the alternative is something that's not comfortable for you. Can we start working on being addicted to comfort? Like, can we all here start being so honest where it's uncomfortable? If you don't, you spiritual bypassing. And I done told y'all, as I go deeper into my process, I am not going to be supporting anybody who's spiritual bypassing. So I know some of y'all gonna leave and ain't gonna come back and might come back later. That's okay. Because I know as the oracle, I experience things way before other people do. So it could be years before you get to this space that I'm in. Practice sitting with these dark emotions. They are not bad. They are not bad. They're just not beneficial for you anymore. Because it was a time that you needed your anger. I needed anger to be able to cope with the shit I went through. If I didn't have anger, I would have just completely checked out. So let's stop labeling shit as bad and good. First, can we do that? Because you're not going to be able to be in this underworld energy if this is how your rules of engagement. Again, this is hell on earth. Now, it's heaven for me right now. I'm in heaven. But I observe hell. But it's because I did the work. I did the ego neutralization. I was so smart. I chose a body that would literally make me uncomfortable every fucking day of my life. And I'm about to be 43 years old. So what was going on was, I was like, you know what? Okay, people are going to be addicted to comfort to the point that they're not going to grow, change, and heal. Okay, well, I'll take a body that's not going to give me comfort. And then I'm going to publicly get in front of people and let people see me, right? I'm going to show up for people because I show up for myself first. So I'm going to be the example. I don't want people to hear me talk. I want people to see me move. You feel me? Ashe, 1111. Thank you for that. Ashe, 1111. Make that return to you 3600. Oh, honey, when people make donations over here, big things happen. People get checks and shit, real talk. So just so y'all know, we not on that funny shit. And like I told you, we in hell. The rules of engagement in hell. So neutralize the ego. Don't call your emotions bad. Just observe them and say, okay, this is how I'm feeling. If it's something I can learn from this, I'm willing to learn from it. My heart is open. That's it. And ride the wave. I've been saying this for the longest. Because y'all must realize who you are. If I really went in on you, the reason why we gravitated to love and light, because we were the complete opposite, and everybody had always told us that the opposite was bad. Do you know what it takes to really get people attention and make change in this world? You're gonna have to do some shit that goes against the current, that goes against the 3D matrix, that goes against the program, the brainwashing. You're gonna have to move in a certain way where the way you moving is letting the universe know who I am and what I'm gonna resonate with. And I don't resonate with hell. I might see it, but I'm not in it. It's not affecting me. The goal is to be totally unfuckwittable, but to feel deeply. How do you do that? How do I know Ernest be like, baby, you want my emotions to be unfuckwittable, but then you want me to be vulnerable and feel deeply? How do I do that?
Help me. Teach me. Yes.
Yeah. So if you single or in a relationship, now that y'all know I'm telling y'all, go back and watch the old videos. I have been preaching from Christianity to Hebrew Israelite to spirituality. Every spiritual belief system I went into, there was a baseline message that I was communicating. I was trying to tell people, like, oh my gosh, you don't know that the 72 demons of Goetia is inside of you? Those are aspects, fractals of you that exist within the unconscious world that is not
Thank you
seen.
for that donation, Rachel.
Ashe. May they return you 36 to 100
Yes.
fold. See,
Yes.
so let me tell you, to be unfuckwittable, it is deep breathing, processing emotions, observing everything, and judging nothing. Deep breathing, learning a healthy way to process your emotions, observing everything, and removing your judgment from what you're observing. Do those 4 things. 4. I ain't got this shit wrote down nowhere. I ain't got no ebook to sell you, no class or no course specifically about this. I am literally channeling from the Akashic Library what they are saying to me right now. That's for those who are ready to cross over into their heaven. Oh, heaven ain't something I gotta wait till I physically leave my body and die and experience. Nope. It's been here all along. It's been a vibration all along, just waiting for you to realize that it's a vibration. And if you practice aligning yourself with it every day, you don't get a day off on this. Every day. Do you get a day off from breathing? No. Do you get a day off from drinking water? No. So you do not get a day off from this. So if that make you feel miserable, then you just got to find a way to enjoy what you're doing. Okay? Do those 4 things. Because ultimately, the real reason why we don't know how to be unfuckwittable, but then be emotionally resilient, because that's unfuckwittable, being emotionally resilient. So every little thing ain't making you spaz out. Every little thing ain't frustrating you and irritating you. Every little thing ain't making you say shit that you feel bad about later. Every little thing, like living like that, that's why we're in hell. We have all misused the energy within our being because we did not know who we was, and we were being weaponized by every fucking element on the planet. I went to the meeting just tonight. I said, I'm gonna do this one more time. And I witnessed this. They created sigils, logos, use runes. They use us to get the information because they don't have direct access. You are the 5D tower. Can we come up? Because if you operated in 3G, it's just not enough. If you 3D, it's not enough. Every time they go up to another G, that's because we've went up another dimension. There's another potential of that dimension. Remove the 5D towers. Just start pulling your mind. Now that you know. We got products to help with that. This is right here. It's Indigo Gabbro that I have on. It ain't that many of these, y'all, but you sit and scry and look at this and let the ancestors talk to you. They will talk to you through these crystals. This connects directly with your 3rd eye, and this protects you. All right? The air is fucking polluted with entities.
Ashe. Thank you, Johnny.
They're returning you 36 to 100 fold. I love the 555. Grace,
Yes.
grace, grace.
Yes.
Grace. 5, 5, 5. 5 in numerology represents grace. This is interesting. There is no more. Not in hell. When you go into the underworld, when the galactic time clock starts over, when you go into a whole new age, a whole new zodiac, when you have the constellations changing, there is no more grace. This is the time of reckoning. This is the time of judgment. It's not because of God is going to hold a meeting and judge you when you leave your physical body. We died with the traumatization, the indoctrination, the ways that we were taught to be, our upbringing, our social engineering, the programming, the waxing, everything. So now you have people walking around who have potential to heal people, killing people spiritually and energetically because they don't know what to do with all that pain and power. They created pain in our bloodlines because they knew. So in order to dismantle this, let's go to the root. So they created time travel machines that they're using, going back in our ancestral lineages, trying to redo shit. That's why history keep changing. It keep getting rewrote. Like, I don't even hear about Tartarus anymore. Not many people talk about it. This was a whole age where we had free energy on the fucking planet. And you know what they did? A mudslide and got rid of all of them. Talk about the Great Flood. Now that's the flood that don't nobody talk about. So when they alter history, then they say, oh, okay, because I did the video on it and I channeled it and I went into our DNA about a year ago, and they told me that the reason why we allowed y'all to be colonized was because we needed to spread your DNA around to keep them from getting access to the treasure. If you would have been in one concentrated area, it just would have been too easy for them to just come. So we allowed y'all to be spread to the four corners of the earth just for you to remember who the fuck you are. But then once you remember who the fuck you are, it's going to be because they are reading the sequences on your DNA.
Someone said, hey, beautiful.
Oh, Ashe. Say thank you.
Thank you.
So the DNA, yes, I say cuss words in front of her. She knows not to use them until she's an adult. So the DNA tells the whole story. We shared it in the webinar we did last night on the DMX decoding. They know more about you than you know about you. If you was born in America, they got everything on you. They got your DNA sequence. They got the damn placenta. They got your stem cells via the cord. I mean, they got everything. So you ain't got to have been sick and none of that. You ain't got to have had my simulated experience. You've been locked up. Every direction, they got a way to make sure that they can put you into this quantum computer that is time traveling and saying this particular DNA and this lineage is going to be a threat to you in the next 5, 10. This is the Minority Report, but see, because it's Hollywood, they switch it up a little bit. I can tell you what it really is and how it really is. So this particular genetic ancestry could possibly be the next Malcolm X. Oh shit. Well, all right. Weed charge. Well, he don't smoke weed. He got kids he ain't taking care of. All right, let's lock him up for that.
Jam them up with
They gonna jam you with something.
Yep.
Or we'll just get our high-level occultists, you know, on the astral realm, and we'll get them in packs and shit and have contracts signed in the astral realm because they dumbasses don't even know that they can wake up in their dream, that they can be conscious in their dream. So we'll just go there and do it that way to fuck him up. No, we'll create thirst traps, make it a trendy thing. They like breast and ass. Okay, gotta find a way to pump their asses up. Back in the day, they stuffed their dresses to look curvy. Remember? That technology didn't come here because we manifested it here. Most of us were okay with our bodies just the way it was until all the social engineering started happening.
Thanks.
And it went after the woman really heavily. So when the Mandela effect happened, all of a sudden, all of these girls of these other races with these big butts just manifested like in one day. I probably seen 60 huge Sarah Bartman asses on Caucasians. I was like, what's going on here? This shit's crazy. They was like, oh no, they using time travel. They've already decided to use other races
Look
to
how many
weaken
likes
the
they are.
already weak bond that you all share together.
Look how many likes they are.
I see.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, they using time travel for shit like this. They was like, oh no, it seems like a small thing, but they're very patient. Because of the race of draconian or reptilian that they are, they're very patient. They live for a very long time. They have a hive mind. They communicate. They have the entities that they communicate with as well, that are principalities over each city. So whatever city agreements that's being made and things like that, it's spiritual. There is an occult. There's a cabal, for each one to manage it. We will have let's put the Masons. Yeah, we need just put a lodge in every neighborhood and we'll make it normal. Matter of fact, let's get a lot of black preachers to be Masons. Well, what kind of Masons? Oh, well, we're going to make them free ones. I mean, free slaves, they really like that, didn't they? They like that a lot. So let's keep going with that branding and call it a Freemason. Okay, we'll do that. We'll put that on every block.
Likes.
Ashe. Thank you for the
Thank you,
likes.
Brian.
Thank you for the subs. And thank you for the
Everybody that's in here
donations.
present,
And thank you
yes.
for the love.
Definitely.
Ashe.
Ashe to that.
So they do that. Then they say, that's not enough. We need clinics that will kill their babies because we know they're going to be suffering economically. We know their relationships are going to be suffering because we're going to make sure that their men never actually have a ceremony of manhood. So they'll be all fucked up. They're not going to want to deal with no kids, no way. So they'll, tell a bitch, go get an abortion.
Right.
Oh, we'll do that. And then we'll take all of the stuff that we get from their babies and use it to season the food that we feed them. And that way, they become cannibalistic and don't even know that we're actually causing them to be more savage. Because when you eat these animals that have been used and then we mix them with human DNA of a baby, you take on the karmic energy as if you murdered that baby and ate it as a cannibal did. And this will activate the savagery within them. They won't be able to control themselves and they'll just fucking destroy each other. We won't even have to go in and do anything.
Yes.
And what we're gonna do, okay, so we covered their spiritual practices. We're not gonna let them know that that shit over there, that hole over there, that in the know over there, that shit powerful. Look at the Haiti revolution. You think they won that revolution with one of the monotheistic religious practices? Do you think they did communion maybe? And the communion ran everybody? Do you think they all fasted and prayed? Or did they plead the blood of Jesus to win that war? Like, how do you think that happened? Why the fuck do indigenous people keep getting colonized? Is it because we try to be on some shit that we not really even are? We're trying to be sheeps, and everybody around us is predators dressed as sheeps, and they're the teachers of our children, those that take care of the health of our parents and grandparents. It's all fucked up. Everybody around us is a predator but us. But then I gotta watch the movie Predator to realize those are fucking dreadlocks in the predator's head. What does that mean?
My tongue still hurt.
It does. Okay, go get you some Orajel or ice or something.
Well, I don't know an oracle.
So there we go. And y'all, I'm going to keep it real. You are fucking
Ashe,
amazing.
Yes, you is. Right on time.
You are
Right on
fucking
time.
amazing. I got to get up and do the dance.
I say, thank you. May that return to you 30, 60, 100-fold.
Check this. let's take skinny girls and make skinny girls be the body type, but we're going to be feeding them shit that's going to cause them to have metabolism disorders. Okay, we're doing a show, sweetheart. Go up there with your brother. Go drink some water.
But I don't have
Go
water.
tell your brother give you some water. So we're going to feed them things that make their metabolism slow. They're going to get fat, and then they're going to feel really fucked up about it. That's how it started. Ashe, thank you. May they return to you 36 to 100 fold. I love the emoji. Because we definitely in a simulation. Like, that's what the ancestors keep telling me. Like, Khamsin, tell people, stop being stressed out and taking shit so serious. It is a simulation, and it's just for you to have challenges to evolve. It's that simple. So they did that. They fed us the stuff. It plumped us up. They put all of the stuff that they put in the milk and in the formula and the milk at school and in the chicken, all of the things that we were told to eat a lot of, because again, we don't even know what we were eating before we were colonized, right? So now little girls got big old booties and titties and they ate, right? Because yeah, we you know, boy love man, that thing, like that's do as thy will. I mean, that shit is popping. So let's plump them up so they can get titties and shit quicker, and then we can be like, oh, we didn't know you was that old. You sure do look grown to me. This is the bullshit that we had to live through. And motherfuckers trying to make us act like we already in heaven and shit and be sheep and angels and floating around love and light and shit, when everything that's around us is attacking us because what's inside of us is more powerful than all of the fucking darkness that's outside of us. Because we the motherfuckers creating the darkness outside of us because we've been traumatized and we got all this dark matter energy inside of us. You put traumatization on the side of it, and then you put spiritual bypassing in the mix, so you're never really fixing anything. You're just slapping lipstick on pigs. Then the chaos. And then people will say, oh, it's the devil. Oh, it's the demons. Oh, it's the... So with the whole pandemic thing, everybody's like, oh, you got it. Oh, you got the vaccine. Oh, I think you might have Regina. Damn, you got the Regina? So now, like, we don't even know who to talk to. We don't even know who we can hug. We like, the shit is really, this is hell. Because in hell, when I went to hell, when I died, that's on my YouTube channel. In hell, let me tell y'all about hell. I'm just gonna spend just a few minutes and tell you, for those of you who might be new and don't know I had that experience that I posted. Crazy. That's how, and I'm a very private person, but I knew this shit was gonna help people. I had already knew, like, okay, I'm about 10 years ahead of this shit gonna be happening. And I was like, okay, I know my YouTube go blow up when it happened, but right now I look weird and shit. So you're gonna see a lot of negative shit on the comments, but don't worry about it. Just watch the video and get what you need to get. Because I allow free speech because, you know, damn, that's what we thought we had, right? The illusion is gone. We don't have it anymore. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm letting people be them and say what they feel. Don't bother me. So I went to hell. Of course, I was being escorted by Jesus because he was the only idea in my mind I had of anything that was protective. So he says, this is hell. And I was like, damn. Like, I knew I was sinning, but damn, I deserve this. He's like, I just want to show you something. The very first thing I remember, that the darkness was so thick, it felt like a substance. And it almost would wrap itself around my face. And it was like, I couldn't see. I couldn't breathe. Even speaking was difficult. What does the Regina do to people? It alters your taste buds, your smell. Are y'all connecting these dots? So I was like, he was like, you have to be trained in your mind over matter. So I was like, okay, breathe. You literally have to come off of automatic and go on manual and be intentional. So I was like, okay. So this is why some people can't see. No matter how much you show them, they cannot see the point that you're making. Even between me and Ernest, this shit happens. And I'm like, Ernest, you're being blinded right now. And I'm the eyes for you. Let me see for you until you can see this. But if you resist this and let ego jump in, then it's gonna say what she talking about don't mean shit because I don't want to change. So you'll just be constantly trying to get people to see something or trying to get them to see themselves. Or maybe you don't see yourself. Maybe your kids keep telling you something that you don't see about yourself. Then you can't hear. So now you in the middle of a conversation with people in hell, because this is hell on earth now. This whole shit is Ghostbusters. Every Ghostbusters movie that ever came out was a fucking documentary. So you're talking to people, you're saying one thing, but because all of the dark matter, nanoparticles in the air and inside of us, depending on how toxic our internal conversation is with ourselves, it's going to determine the way we hear what someone is saying to us. Am I saying to you that literally the air and the environment around you manipulates things so that you can't hear, see it, smell it, and taste it for what it is? That's exactly what the fuck I'm saying. Am I saying to you that when you eat food that's got HEK fetal embryos in it to make it taste really good, then when you eat something that ain't got nothing in it, it don't taste good? And it could be something, a vegetable that's organic and came straight from the ground that somebody grew inside of the greenhouse that is not being watered by regular water and is not sitting in soil, and it don't even taste good to you. I've had it happen to me. You can't even taste. So then when you stop eating the shit and then you try to eat it, shit tastes horrible. That's what it means to come alive. You can finally taste shit for what it is. I try to eat something with sugar in it now. Like if it's over 6 grams, I can't even tolerate the taste. I'd be like, yo, it's crazy. I used to eat this. Like I can't even tolerate it. It's not pleasant. It's so bad that I'd be looking for something to spit the shit out. I'm like, how in the hell I was hooked on Nestle Crunch bars and now I can't even bear the smell? So you got that. So these are all the senses. So now, because we're in the underworld, I'm saying hell because most people know what that means. It's really the underworld. This is the apocalypse. Ashe Baba Hemett, he talked about the apocalypse of the heart. That's what this is. Our hearts had literally was dying. We was on fucking life support. Kick my shoes off. Because see, I'm finna channel tonight. Because after what I seen last night, I know y'all need this. So I'm going to give this to you for free. So if you give a donation, know that your donation is supporting the messages that I'm giving. And know that that is a spiritual seed that you're planting to manifest something. So be very careful about where you put your money. And speaking of which, when we spend our money with these corporations who done did this high magic against our very people, what are you doing? So I don't know why we feel some type of way about supporting each other's small businesses and shit and goals and dreams. I give people money. They be like, girl, I think I want to become a life coach. I be like, damn, I ain't got nothing but $50, but shit, I put 25 on it. That's me. That's how I move. So that's why I always have money. But these are the rules of engagement on the new earth. So back to what I was saying. So what happens is all of your perceptions get hijacked to the point where you can look in the mirror and look good and think you look bad. Because the energies is riding through the electromagnetic radiation. The specific hertz they're hitting us with, it puts us into certain brainwave patterns, which determines how programmable we are. So now what they can do is turn the towers down low, maybe about 6 millimeters waves, okay? And then what happens is whatever darkness is inside of you, it gets activated and that's what you become. So if you have the nanoparticles and heavy metals in you, which we all do, when you're untrained, what happens is that hacks. So your conscious mind is not able to override the subconscious and unconscious impulses.
That's right.
And so you find yourself being somebody you know you not are, but you feel helpless to change it. And so the helplessness goes into a whole other cycle. So the darkness that's on this planet, we're in hell. Now, I stepped a few feet further in hell. There was 9 levels to this particular dimension I went to. The first level, I will never forget, because this bothered me so much to know that this was going to be unleashed on earth, and most people won't go even know because their third eye not even open to see it, so they're just going to be victims of it and not able to know that this shit is here and I can come up now, finally. This is our time. There's no reason we should be struggling with anything right now. We should be healing. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the motherfucking good life. You served your time. Time served. When Obama left the office, he let a whole lot of folks out. Why? Because they know spiritual impulses, and they know to keep a certain level of power, they have to be in alignment with some of the spiritual currents. So we've been incarcerated in our own fucking beliefs and limitations, in our own trauma, our own programs, the shit that we hold on to that ain't helping us, but you just hold on to it because there is a part of you that likes it. There's a part of you that might like being abused. You might like get talked bad to sometimes because it's nostalgic. Could be many reasons why. But when you love and light, you spiritual bypass and you totally deny your own darkness. And then you wonder, why am I depressed? Why am I sad? Why am I angry? What the fuck is going on with me? I've been meditating. I've been doing the mantras. I did the program Khamsin them got. I did the webinar that Ernest posted about on IG or whatever it is you did. And like you're in contracts that says that shit will not work. Bobby Hemmett had been telling us the old magic that shit don't work. The shit that works is the shit that you create. So if you work on healing yourself and becoming whole, then what you create is going to be whole. It's going to be gold. Everything that you create. Okay? So back to hell. So when I went to the next level of hell, because the deeper you go, the darker it gets. In every way that you could think of. So whatever your worst fears are, it's multiplied. And this is what these towers do. It multiplies our fears. It multiplies the demons that's within us. And I can't wait till I'm really able to translate this, because I feel like some people just too far over to the left, some people too far over to the right, some people holding on so tight to the middle. Remember the middle? You're predator or prey. They're holding on so tight to the middle, they're literally trying to create a being, a race of beings. But I digress. So they're hacking your system. And spiritual bypassing means I don't have a conscious connection occurring with any of those things, right? So the man in the first prison, why he was in this prison, I don't know, because there weren't no bars keeping him in there. I was puzzled. And I was standing there like, why won't he just leave? Won't he just walk away? And the demons that was around him tormenting him was ripping his skin off, like over and over. Once they rip all the flesh off of him, then it would repopulate and it would start over again. So it was just constant torture. That wasn't the worst part. Hell is not a physical torture. Hell is a torture that happens on every fucking level at one time. So as that was happening, over top of his crown chakra was a projection of his children. And he was seeing the ways that he wounded them and traumatized them. And so because he never corrected it or even began correcting it and showing them a new way, when he died, they kept going in the pattern that he set. So he was there screaming, saying, son, please don't, I was wrong. I was wrong. The stuff that I taught you, showed you, it was wrong. This is where it leads to. Don't do that. And it would look like his son could hear him. He would stop and be like, Dad, And then he was like, oh, that's crazy, my daddy did. And this man had to watch his son over and over again. And sometimes it would take 1,000,000 times calling his son's name to get him to be like, I think I heard daddy talking to me. Like, because there's no time there. So I'm watching, it's going fast. And it's like, I'm like, damn. Like this for the 1,000,000th time. He's just talking. And he get to witness every fucked up thing his children doing as a result of his wounding that he did not correct. That's hell. When I agreed to come back into my body after that, I was like, I don't know if I want to be a Christian no more. That's when it really kicked in, 2005. And I was really struggling. I was really trying to make the religions that I had been told about work for me. I was even a Muslim. Went and got with a Muslim man who was very well respected, who I knew would hold me accountable and lead me. I wasn't even allowed to let my hair be out. I couldn't show my shoulders in the summertime. I was obedient because I was looking for a way. So, a little background on me. So this is why I feel like I was created for this moment right here. For the souls who are ready to be done with the bullshit. That prison that he was in was because his mind was tethered to hell. Are you tethered to hell? Are you tethered to your ghosts? Are they haunting you? Are you emotionally tethered to your trauma and your wounds to a point where you let them show up every day and nothing different ever happens? Victimization, that's hell. You torture yourself. You don't need a devil. We can get rid of that. You can get rid of that. If it resonates, get rid of that. The devil wear white coats, suits, and you. How many people feelings have you hurt just this last month alone? Or how many times have you hurt the same person over and over? If that resonates with you, you are tethered to the version of earth that is becoming hell. And I'm here to help you untether. There is no PhD or school to teach you this. This wisdom is only obtained by going through the trials and the challenges and overcoming them. And I've done it publicly. I vowed to never bring a man on my platform. And I went against everything I said I would ever do when I met this nigga right here. Because I saw something in him that I knew was a part of my journey. I wouldn't have this message right now if it weren't for this nigga right here. Because all of his hellish shit come up. And I'm really thankful that I have trained myself. Because, like I told him, we're not breaking up over no shit like that. Like, I got a few things, but that list real short. Because I've been through so much. And I know so much. So for those of you who are in relationships right now, while the underworld, this is the first year. If y'all missed that video, you enjoy prophecy, you enjoy metaphysics, quantum physics, time travel, things like that, like go back to it. Go and watch the webinars. Like I have over 850 videos of information that will be here for ages. This shit will be relevant continually. But there's a price that you must pay. And that price is being real. Stop trying. Don't try. Just be. Do. Spiritual bypassing made us not know the difference between trying and being. So we all trying to figure out who we are. And we trying so hard to be a sheep. But then you're like, damn, sheeps get slaughtered. I'm like, literally, this had to happen just for us to wake up and see, like, damn, sheep do get slaughtered. Well, do I still want to be a sheep with a shepherd? Like, what is he doing with that cane? Like, is that space really a pasture that's fertile? So see, the way the 13 bloodlines that are the powers that used to be are doing things, they knew when this age come that everything was going to be inverted. They knew the poles were going to shift. So if you happen to have a lot of wounds like Ernest does, that's not a negative thing. Don't let nobody make you feel bad about your shit. It's your shit, and appreciate your shit, because your shit is what allowed you to identify the shit that's really the shit that's gonna fertilize the shit that you want to manifest while we in this bullshit. No shit intended.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you talk now, baby. Go ahead. I didn't channel for like what? I've been channeling for an hour. How long we been on here? Yeah, an
I'm
hour.
over here like, this is just so good. It's just so good. But it is everything that you've been saying. I mean, we gotta hear that. It's time for us to really go deep within ourselves, you know, and be real. You know what I'm saying?
That's the price.
We've been in this illusion because we know this is simulation. So we've been in this illusion, and guess what? We created an avatar to operate and function in this illusion. And a lot of us we great pretenders, we great actors. We can wear different hats. You know what I'm saying? We can be something different to every individual that we encounter.
So you got your CP license then.
Man.
You a certified pretender.
Certified pretender.
Now let me tell y'all what happened. So we ain't walking out of the grocery store, and I say to him, babe, why you got both the cards? Just like that. Babe, why you got both the cards? What did you say?
I probably said.
Now you see he what did you say? Just no. You just told him to be real.
No, I'm saying
So
I
show
said. I don't remember exactly what I did.
See?
You see what I'm saying?
Now why don't you remember?
Cause it be bullshit.
And you was being hacked.
Yeah. But what she's saying is my response was, and then she asked me why did I act like that or why did I respond like that, and I was like, cause you asked me a stupid question. Like you gave me the cards. You been gave me the cards. You know, she said, why you got both cards? I'm like, and so in my mind, in my response.
In that old 3D hellish tethered to wounds mind.
Yeah. Like, and then like I told her, I was like, but baby, you know, most of the time when we having communications and being connected, you always say, well, I know where it's going. I know what you're going to say. So, you know, in my mind, in that moment, which was definitely an ego triggering moment, I responded that way.
We standing in the store, like literally, my mind is blown because I just seen this nigga whole crown chakra just something else went in. I was like, God damn, okay, here come a ghost. So I was like, babe. So I'm very aware now that he's checked out. That's why he don't even remember what he said to me. It took him a minute to, y'all see how long it took him to be like, he was like, he didn't want to admit he didn't know what he said at first. The ego got triggered just then. Then he finally pushed through that. It was like, okay, let me neutralize that. No. And then you heard how it finally started coming. So that's the price that you pay for being real. You gonna lose some people. Some people not gonna want to fuck with you no more.
Yeah, for me, I have to process. We had this conversation. I have to process every change of idea.
Now, this was my response. Babe, why you respond to me like that? Like, I didn't know I said something. That's a stupid question. That's stupid. What you mean why I got both cards? I mean, I be out, right? Then he get real sarcastic. I mean, real low. He go low. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, it's good. I can go low too. I've been to hell, literally, my nigga. I got you. I'll meet you there. And then I'll pull your ass right back up in heaven. You know what I'm saying? Like, I move like that. I got you. So we like literally in the middle of the grocery store, we're shadow working this shit out. So I'm like, you just got hacked. In my mind, like, he just got hacked. He checked out. So I got it. My tone needs to be in a way that's not gonna trigger him deeper into the abyss that he just fell in. He literally stepped in a fucking hole and fell in a sunken place. Like within microseconds, it happens like that.
Yeah.
So once he says to me, well, I mean, I be out most of the time and you send me to the store and yada, 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 yada. But I'm like, but if both cars got money on it, why not you have one and I have one? He's still ego triggered at this point, so he don't even see the genius in that simple idea, right? Because he triggered. So he went like, yeah, none of that shit. He's still looking at me like, why you asking me that dumbass question? So then we get in the truck, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let this shit go because this is a moment where something has been below his consciousness just showed itself, but he can't see it for what it is. So I want to help him see it. So then you can't get past some shit that you can't even see is there. Right. That's like me having an invisible couch and I put it right in front of the door and I expect nobody to trip over that motherfucker. You're going to trip over the invisible couch because you cannot see it. We can't see this shit with our physical eyes. So I said, babe, by you responding to me like that, it was like on some, why you asking a stupid question? I don't think that's what that was. What is it that you feel? I mean, why you ask me something you know the answer to? I was like, wait a minute. That's what you thought I was doing? I sat there for a minute. I said, so when I be asking you questions and you be getting mad and irritated with me and I don't be knowing why, this been the reason the whole time? I was like, what have I done to prove that to be a reason for you to hold against me? If you go charge me with some shit, judge, prosecute, because we judge ourselves. Again, you're your own devil. And so if you go charge me with something, show me the evidence. He didn't have any. I sat there and waited. I was like, I'm gonna give you time. I was like, I'm gonna give you time. Like, let me know, because we're gonna work through this one. And he was so irritated with me. It was like I represented everything that he hated in that moment. He was just mad about it. He was irritated and frustrated. Because I kept asking questions. So if me asking a question triggered you, then me asking you more questions is not going to give you relief. So I understood what was happening. And I was like, okay, but I'm still ask these motherfucking questions. Because you just got hacked. And goddamn it, I'm finna be that virus catcher. We finna catch this virus and annihilate this virus. Like, we're not doing this. We don't destroy each other. We rise above the veil of consciousness and do better because we know better, right? So let's know. We got to dive into this. I went in the abyss with him, jumped in the hole with him. So then he was just like, well, I feel like now this ego got a whole other layer to give as a reason to why he's been a way that's toxic and unhealthy. So that was the first layer, right? So the second layer was, well, I mean, you are the oracle, and you got gifts and stuff. See how stupid it sounds now. So I mean, so I just feel like when you asking me questions, you already know the answer. So I was like, so you think I'd be asking just to fuck with you, just to pick with you? And he didn't even know that until that moment. He said, I have been treating you, yeah, you're right. It still took him a minute to admit it. I said, if you don't use that throat chakra to admit this shit, you gonna stay in your prison. I'm not coming. I jumped in this hole this time. I don't sit in sinking ships. I look for solutions. I told him that earlier today. So he learned something new. Damn. So basically, I've been wearing a Snapchat filter like I'm the fucking criminal villain who can get in his mind anytime. And so he go get mad at me and shit when I ask questions, assuming that I know, thinking that I'm picking on him. But you see how if you got bullied or you had a parent that was a bully or anything like that, then you're going to view the person you're in a relationship with, whether they're doing it or not, because of the energy and the way everything hijacks your emotional system. You're going to put that fucking filter on top of that person. That's the ghost that I was channeling about in the last episode. So we got the ghosts, straight Ghostbusters. Told y'all the Ghostbusters is a documentary. We caught the ghosts, right? So now it's time to bring the photon belt. So it is sometimes when you need to just collide fucking particles. And this was two particles colliding. It's a lot of different types of light. See, so this is a different type of light, not the love and light that is spiritual bypassing that kept us from being able to truly see, but the light that comes from going into the darkness. Even in the Bible, some truths they have to put in their books of lies. It says that light comes from darkness. So if you practice this and go into your own darkness, then the light can come forth, but you got to speak the truth so that the light can come into your situation and disarm the bomb that's been ticking all along. See, the atomic clock that the world got is a reflection of what's happening on a celestial level and inside of us, because the stars are simply just a reflection of what's inside of you. Stars are cells. It's the same thing. Your soul is literally oversoul connected, right? So we're tethered to something that's dark, but dark means healing, growth, power, transformation. So we're in the dark together. We come out of the dark. We go into the light. He learned something new he didn't know. I said, shit, if I was you, I wouldn't be happy with me either. Damn, no wonder you be so irritated with me. You thought I was bullying you. Why would you be in a relationship with somebody that's bullying you and not tell them that they picking on you? I want to ask that now. Like, why would you stay in a relationship? If you really think that I do that to you, and I ask a lot of questions, why would you accept that amount of abuse? Even though this was just your illusion.
I think it's still probably attached to some codependency. Yeah. And so it's still a comfort zone, and it's because that's what I'm used to. And so that word adapt. I adapted and conformed in ways to help me to still be able to tolerate and keep moving. Or do it and keep moving.
Bypass.
Experiencing and keep moving. Yeah.
Bypass.
Yeah.
There are key words in this channel message tonight. Take them, study them. There was another breakthrough. Breakthroughs, miracles happen when you go into darkness. They don't happen in the light. So the next breakthrough. So once we discover that he's been in a relationship with a bully, right? And then she got a lot of gifts. So like, can you imagine being bullied by Magneto? And you feel like Papa Smurf? Like, that's a fucking terrible feeling. Like, no wonder we be struggling in certain areas in a relationship. Damn, nigga. I didn't know you saw me as Ike. Man. Shit. Well, let's not eat no more cake. So we get farther down the street. If you remember this, we get a little bit further down the street. And I'm blown away by the fact that he thought that I had been Iking him for all this time. I'm like, damn, I wouldn't like me either. So we get further, and I'm like, baby, I get it now. Let's get past it. You remember? What was the next breakthrough that happened right after that? 5 minutes from walking out of the store, what happened? What did you do? 5 minutes after him getting mad at me for asking a question I already knew the answer to, he does what?
Oh.
You see how you had to recall it? See, yeah. when you allow your wounds and ghosts from the past to hijack your emotional nervous system and the way that you're processing information, and your reptilian cortex is just taking over. You got it. That stuff, because it's in the abyss, it seeps back in a compartment, and your brain, your ego, will close the door. Your ego is a little scared kid. So imagine a little scared kid is inside of your mind, which is a haunted house. And it thinks everything is trying to hurt it and after it, right? So your mind compartmentalizes. Psychology causes compartmentalization. And people that study the occult and shadow governments, this would be the information that was learned in the MK Ultra program. For those of you maybe who came through religion, This will be how we were taught to consecrate ourselves from evildoers and sinful people. All of this was compartmentalization. So the ego inside of you to keep you safe, I mean, it was great. We needed it, but it go in and it shut it out. So that's why he's having to like really think to bring it back up. So that file is the hidden file on the computer that's got the virus attached to it. But the virus tells the file, because it's a Trojan horse, it's gonna hide. And sometimes it will even hide in a program that seems not harmful at all.
That's true.
So
I did the exact thing.
And he didn't even notice.
I did the exact thing. I asked her a question that I know she didn't know the answer to. It was like,
No, you asked me a question you knew I couldn't answer. And so he asked me if
no, I knew you didn't do it.
Right. He asked me if I did something that he knew I didn't do, because we've been together the whole time. So at what point would I have done? What would I have sent out an email? What do you mean that I sent an email, babe? We've been together. Like, we literally just got through having a whole shadow work session at the grocery store, and you asked me that I sent an email. And so I let it sit for a minute, and I wanted to see if he knew. PJ is doing a great job today. I wanted to see if he knew what he was doing. So he asked me the question, and my higher self like, okay, just gently show him, hold a mirror up. So I said, babe, you just asked me if I did something that you know for sure I didn't do. No. He was getting ready to go into the program and pull that same pre-programmed response system, you know, the automated messages. So the automated message pops up, and then he's like, wait a minute, he caught it. And he was like, I said, you do know that I have not sent an email, because we've been going back and forth with each other. There's no point I would have done that. I'm sitting right here beside you. Big smile on his face. I was like, you mean to tell me you just did the exact same thing you accused me of doing, and that made you so angry, and now you just do it to me? Do you see? That's true wickedness.
Someone said Callie.
That is true wickedness. Not good and bad. We don't use those words on the new earth. These are the rules of engagement on the new earth. That was wickedness. That's just being mean. I'm gonna bully you. I'm gonna fuck with you. I'm gonna pick on you. I'm basically saying, quit talking to me about this shit, ready to move on to something else. Send the damn email. But I'm gonna say, did you send the email? So you'll say, oh no, let me do that, instead of just asking. So you see how the communication, I was like, babe, this is why our communication be broken down. So you were projecting what was inside of you, what you do, onto me, because you were not ready to let it go and work through it. So I got to make somebody be accountable for this action, because I don't want to be accountable for it, because it would mean that I'm bad from my childhood upbringing and the way I've been conditioned as an adult. Within 5 minutes. That's because we manifest faster. So usually a lesson like that would have took 5 months. That lesson took 5 minutes. So because the time has sped up, it's not a negative thing either. Work with it. How can you work with the time being different?
That's just how much on point you have to be. Yeah.
Just being mindful.
Yeah.
Just
On a whole
being
nother
mindful.
level.
Observe yourself.
Yeah.
Don't take shit personal. All of us here suffer with narcissism because we were raised by a narcissistic society. So we tend to either think everybody talking about us, everybody always doing stuff to us. Always. Everybody always putting curses on us. Its program is to make you victimize your own self. That shit could really be happening, but you focusing on it not gonna help you. Go lay down with your brother. We almost done. It's not going to help you. If we do not master our emotions, we're going to fuck up everybody that we care about. in the underworld. And since the Galactic New Year, July 26th happened, we went into this first year according to the Mayan calendar. I broke down the whole planetary, don't tickle her, she's sleepy, she might start crying. I broke down the whole planetary alignment thing. We've been breaking down the galactic signatures, just helping y'all to get to know yourself. I asked him, how does one be in a relationship with somebody and accept them for them, but that person don't accept themselves for themselves? How do I accept you for you and embrace you for you and you don't? There's no way, because of the laws of the universe. I'm not going to be able to override that. That's his soul's energy. I can't override that. Even with the government, all this shit they doing, they can't completely override it. So that's why they got to come up with all these other agendas and stuff to try to stay ahead and controlling the personal prisons everybody here is living in some shape, form, or fashion. So the day's definitely been shortened, so we'll work through our bullshit. You know, it's just like, I asked him, so how long do you think you need to deal with this? Because everything is a fucking process and a journey, and it's a long one. When you got that in your mind, that's exactly how it's going to be.
That's right. But it's a choice.
It's a choice. Make the choices that align with your soul's mission. Ashe, thank you. May they return to you, Osiris One. Love it, love it, love it. Sneakers. I do that a lot.
Lemonhead.
You know, like, do this. So this is what you can be doing to level up, and this is why I'm so appreciative. Shout out to Ani Osaru. Like, that's like real talk. That's family right there. Soul family. And what's really beautiful and interesting about the time we're coming into, I hadn't told this to him yet. Maybe I should have hit him up and told him before I told y'all, but it's just coming to me now, so I'm saying it now. But I see how the soul tribes and how we're connecting with people that have a similar resonance. But the beautiful part is we're not going to agree on every point. And we will still rock with each other. See, slavery and being a fucking tyrant. Ashe, thank you. Yes.
Yes.
When you're in slavery, okay, cool. When you're stuck in slavery, what happens is you become a tyrant. You will eventually become a tyrant. We see crabs in a bucket. We were created to have the mentality of crabs. So that's why, like, you really don't see people level up together. You don't even see couples level up together. That's why when it happens, we be so just fucking mind blown that a black couple has come together and level up. And what do we call it? Power couple. What about an Ashe couple?
Yeah,
May they return to you 3600 fold. Yes.
Definitely Ashe.
I'm telling y'all, for those of you, I'm serious, hold me accountable. I know y'all will, because a lot of y'all with the shit, you know, some of y'all, everybody here got some type of shit they be with, especially when you got that keyboard and you like, cool, I can really, my throat chakra might not work, but these fingers work, and I'm finna say how the fuck I feel. It's great and beautiful, but I want to say this, like, for real, when y'all give donations to us because of the work that we doing, like, real talk, it's going to create a vortex around you of energy. So this is how we got in this mess, because we've been putting our currency, which is an extension of our energy, in the hands of people that don't mean us any good, you know, not trying to benefit us. But anyway, that's another thing. So we've been existing in these self-created prisons, and the whole time we view everybody outside of us as the issue. When you become tyrant-minded, when you're put under tyrants, everything that's at the top leaks down to the bottom. Ashe.
Thank you, Day.
Oh, thank you.
Ashe, yeah.
We like to say blessings now, because in hell, you definitely got to find some bliss and things that give you enjoyment that's healthy. I'm going to start doing readings soon. Very good question, Day. Thank you. Day, ain't you in Memphis too, sis?
Yeah.
If you in Memphis, you got to hit us up, because like if we go do meetups and stuff, while we're in the underworld, we need to link up with people that's already like-minded, because, you know, that shit can go real left No, that shit can go
No,
right. No pun intended, but yeah. So what happens is these self-created prisons that we've been existing in, you will eventually turn into a tyrant where you don't have any flexibility, and so you can't even tolerate people that might have a different perspective. So that's what's really different with us and Ani, where we have our own minds and own way of perceiving things, decoding things, and breaking down things, but we see the divinity in each other. So we support each other because we see that. I share Osiris. What did
You
it say?
said these are boomerang dollars. I say.
Yes, I
Yeah.
like that. I just saw that in my mind.
The
That's
Molly
beautiful,
68.
Osiris.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May it all return back.
So look,
That same
boomerang.
energy.
I love that. That is a really good symbology. I've used it a couple times. Yes.
Thank you,
When
Woman's
I
Love and Light.
spend money, I always boomerang my money. So and this is it's an Asian ancient teaching. There's a specific name that begins with an M. It eludes me right now, but I'll tell you the basics of it. If you connect your intention and your energy with your money, it don't matter whether it's ethereal money, digital, or physical money, material world. So what happens is whenever you spend it, already visualize it coming back to nothing ever leaves you, because you recognize that there is a oneness and I am one with source energy. Money is simply something we use to be a reflection of the way energy moves. It's something that we use to allow the laws of the universe to be seen in the physical realm. So by connecting with your money like that, I clear my money with sage or Palo Santo. I could like that. That shit is emotional. You should love your money. If you don't love your money yet, your money will never work for you because you have a hatred towards the very thing that you're using. So why would that energy return to you and it knows you got a hatred for it? You know, it's just like you're blocking your own abundance. That's a whole other topic that I do want to get into. And I'm going to be creating a program to help you unblock it. And it's not going to be something you will find anywhere else. Y'all already know if it's coming from me, it's going to be some real weird, ingenious, weirdo gang shit. You know? Right. So, but yes. So I want to say that I will be doing readings because I knew the underworld was going to fully open up when it did. I knew I needed to step back after the line escape portal. And I wanted people to have time who got readings with me. Like when you get a reading with me, I literally give you shit that you can do for the rest of your life to remedy the issues. So, you know, and I had not been operating. Had been operating as a hypocrite where I would let Father Kronos make me feel like I gotta work. And so I wasn't taking the moments to stop and do the healing for myself. And so I was giving out so much energy that I was depleted of my own spiritual healing. And so I knew that the times was gonna call for a dark goddess, not a light goddess.
Thank you,
and so I'm going through my phases to tap into that energy to help.
Return back to you. Yes.
Ashe. Okay, Osiris, you definitely a weirdo gang. That's what I'm talking about. It be the things like that you remember from when you was young and you was like, you know what? I was on to something. People made me sound like I was weird and crazy and this and that and the other, but no, I was on to something.
Well, you wanted them bills crisp and right.
Exactly. It's that you in a relationship with your money. See,
that's right.
Y'all got to accept the fact that you in a relationship with shit you might not want to admit you're in a relationship with because we've been programmed that it's evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. You know what the root of all evil is? Our ignorance. Our refusal. Not just the ignorance just because you don't know. It's the shit that you refuse to accept. Ignorance is not bliss anymore. It used to be. But remember, when the illusion come down, the grace is gone. There is no more grace. Ashe, thank you. May they return you 36 fold. Vice. Ashe says, yes. The wave. So we should be creating waves with our currency in this aquatic consciousness. Shout out to Diamond. Pretty blind eyes. Hands down.
Thank you, sister.
One of the best tarot card readers I have
We
ever
love you.
known in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gotta check her channel out. So yes, on the topic of the ego is simply your wounded self. I'm gonna pull one card. Look, just like it was a dream I had in 2018, and it just started happening this year, like on a bigger level. I don't even know if I can share this or say any of this on here. Nope, I can't. It's got too many of them words in it that's gonna have AI on my ass. So I ain't gonna do it. But I'm gonna send it to you so you can hold me accountable.
And we'll probably put it on Patreon.
And we will put it on Patreon. That shit deep. You talk about when you don't know what to do with your sexual energy, and you think because you're celibate that no harm is being done. If you don't have direction and intention for your sexual energy, then every other entity that passes your way will have access because your ass bypassing. And that entity go past you and come back and ain't gonna want to ever say bye. That's bypassing in reverse. They out here reverse engineering the spiritual bypassing we've been under. But it's really amazing. So, you know, anything that anybody ever said was evil, it's probably the opposite. It's probably evil might even be a synonym for to live. They might have just mixed the letters around and said, you know what, it's going to be some people exist on this planet and they're literally going to be dead. They're not going to feel. They're going to eat dead flesh, eat dead things, just be dead. They're going to be numb because of the trauma that we make sure that they get programmed with. You know, okay, those going to be the dead people, the zombies. The people that's going to live will be the people that know what evil really is. They just twisted up everything. When I talk to the dark goddesses, they just like, you think black people get mistreated? That shit came as a result of how we get treated. I was like, what? They was like, don't y'all be having mug shots and shit everywhere? How many mug shots do you see of Native Americans, the other kind of Native American? None. What about Filipinos? Hawaiian? Eskimos? Never saw an Eskimo mugshot. Asians? No, I don't see them on the news. Yeah, you know why? Because when you have a certain type of neuromelanin inside of you, you're demonized by the simulation that you're in because they know that you have power to go to realms they can't go to, which means that you can channel change, you can rebel, right? You can be adversarial to the things that's keeping people in their own prisons, right? And so they don't want you to know that you can do that. So they're going to tell you to completely unplug yourself from all of the things that give you true power. I'm not.
Let me say that again.
Like,
that's it.
I can't make this up. So for those of you who are ready to go into the subconscious mind finally and deal with it, deal with yourself, face yourself with love, Doing the work is just going to expose how much you really hate yourself.
Yeah.
Can we be real about that?
Yeah, I went through that phase.
When you can't admit to your truth because you think your truth is so bad that it's going to be something that's going to make somebody that love you not want to be with you anymore, that creates self-hatred on a level that I can't even express, because it's going to block out any love energy coming from that person, and anything that they do is going to go through the filter of self-hatred.
We wasn't allowed to let our true identity be what belongs to us. It was stolen, and then we were whipped and beat into a psychosis.
Where the book?
That's another one.
Where the book? Did you take the book out when you was reading the card that I had pulled from you for this morning? And you never did put it back in there.
Did I take it out?
With the card you was reading. You was reading from the book in the bedroom. You was doing the practices.
It's probably still on the bed.
Can you go get it so I can translate this card? Let me see what y'all talking about for a minute. Yes, thank you. The Shadow Work webinar. We spent about 6 to 8 months putting that together. Y'all, like in the climate that we're in now, just to be able to be creating something for that long and not give up on it and actually put it out is amazing. So I tell y'all, use the free webinars and the paid webinars. We reduced the price by like 45% on all the paid webinars. And it is hours and hours of what you're getting now. So tap in and get that, y'all.
Excuse me.
Okay, number 27. So I wanna say one more thing, which is for those of you who are single, this is really, really great because now you can create your next relationship from a place of sovereignty and from a place of being healed. For those of you all who are in relationships, if you're going through the awakening together like we are, then yes, it can become catastrophic. It can feel catastrophic, but that does not mean that it is. Sometimes when you're healing, every time I do detoxes, I get sick. And when you get sick for a few days, you can't get far away from the toilet, and you feel literally like you are dying. Know that it's because that's parts of you that's dying that you no longer need on the 5D dimension, okay, in 5D consciousness. So if you're going through that, sit with those parts and allow those parts to be honored so that they can have their proper resting place, so that you can put them to rest. Like literally be at peace with that part of you. That's what resting in peace means. It means taking the things that hurt you and make you feel broken, and you give love to it and you give honor to it. You don't despise it. You don't hate it. You just recognize that it's there. And it don't matter why it's there, who traumatized you, who put it there, what they did. Like at some point, get past the what, where's, and who's and trying to get a whole lot of past life regressions and readings and figure that that's ego will keep you looking in the past.
Thank you,
so that you
Joanne.
cannot create your future.
Thank you,
I
thank you.
May that return you 3600 fold. It's a cute little box.
Yeah.
So, to bring yourself into the present moment, the only moment that truly exists is this one right here, right now. The past is no longer in this moment. The future is not in this moment. However, what you do in this moment will determine which timeline you walk down. So at every point, let me tell you this the rules of engagement for the new earth now. Okay, now that all the gloves off, all the masks off, and now we've been stripped down naked where you can't even hide who the fuck you are anymore, right? And as you're discovering the real you amongst all of the false identities you've been given, you at some point you gotta just accept all of it as part of your process, and then you can literally recreate yourself. So how do you want to be? How do you want to dress? What do you want to eat? How do you want to treat people? How much money do you want to have? How do you want to get it? Like it's endless possibilities because this dark matter is highly programmable. It's just waiting on us to connect with it. The connectivity, it's just like getting on your Wi-Fi. You need the code. And the codes is locked within your DNA, but you need light code or dark code activations. That's why I started calling it Akashic downloads instead of light codes, because it was information coming down from the Akashic record to load us with the power that we need to recreate the new earth. Okay? So I just wanted to share that little bit. It's really interesting because I know that the way that I speak to people, you almost feel like I'm answering your questions before you formulate them, or I'm answering questions that you didn't know how to formulate, but you felt inside of you and you've been asking for clarity. So it's coming through tonight. So for the collective of souls who are here on tonight, I wanted to know what was important for us to know, right? And this is what I pull. This is Sri Bala. Can I read that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sri Bala, divine child with wisdom beyond her years, the old soul with deep knowing, dwells within our hearts. She urges you to commit to your most passionate inspirations completely and without hesitation. There are genius and wisdom in what you yearn to do. You have a greater capacity to attain fruition than those around you recognize.
Wow.
Believe in yourself, even if no one else does. It is not imagination that drives you towards your destiny, but an instinctive recognition of your true purpose. Validation from others will come later. Your path is authentic, and you are destined to succeed.
That make you want to dance.
What?
Okay, keep going, baby. Keep going.
This aspect of Lalita Tripura Sundari Sri Bala.
Can a moderator get rid of that person, please? Thank you.
Okay.
Ashe. It's okay. Like, I feel no way towards the trolls.
Yeah.
Trolls gotta have something to do too, right? The bots, remember? They need something. Don't let it distract you though. Let's keep going. We in the underworld, but this is a simulation. That's all it is.
That's right. This aspect of Lalita Tripura Sundari Sri Bala translates as divine child.
Do y'all know how divine the child is within you, which is the reason why they needed to wound it in the first place via our genetics, our parents, our upbringing, our school, our food? Because the child that's in you is divine. Children are so fucking perfect.
That's why
just
they
as they
after,
are.
Man. Or more specifically, as God the daughter. It is far more commonplace for the divine child to be represented as male, and in numerous cultures, having a boy is considered particularly auspicious. So, Sri Bala is not only a celebration of the divine feminine child, but an inversion of dominant cultural values. Her presence shakes up traditional power structures with her combination of innocence and fearlessness. It is my sense.
It sound like me.
It is my sense that there are emanations of Sri Bala in the form of particularly pure-hearted, fearless, and empowered young women, speaking and acting for the protection of the feminine in our world today. Environmental activism.
That's
It is taught that Bala asks her goddess mother, Lalita, to allow her to join the battle against evil. She is so passionate to fulfill her inner yearning that her body cannot keep still. Lalita expressed her concern that Bala is still a child, inexperienced, therefore potentially vulnerable. She frets at the thought of losing her daughter, especially when others could take her place on the battlefield. However, Bala petitions her mother again, asking to be allowed to express who she is. Lalita recognizes her daughter's determination and provides her with the amount of her blessing, at which point Bala kicks demon butt and saves the day. She conquers 30 demons in an extremely difficult yet perfectly executed martial arts demonstration. Now that's some serious girl power. Sri Bala arises when we need to trust in what feels right on an inner level, not allowing a lack of external validation to deter us from our innate and authentic purpose. Muscle does not have to meet muscle. The strength of intention combined with pure and fearless commitment to our true nature is enough to change the course of what is happening. The mountain can be moved by faith the size of a mustard seed. The story of Feisty Bala can inspire us. At first, we may gain no support for our efforts. We must continue to apply ourselves and not give up on who we are and what we came to this planet to accomplish. In doing so, the power needed shall be divinely given. Public validation can come later, but we do not need it to accomplish what is required. The Tantras teach that Bala saw the battle unfolding and what was necessary to attain success with complete clarity. Adults tend to underestimate a child's capacity to see what is going on, yet the child is the unconditioned part of us, the part that sees things as they are.
Look, everything I've been saying all night long. The child in you is the part of you that's pure. It has not been programmed. So I know right now it seems like our inner child is commanding our attention. That's only because our wounded inner child is ready to become its higher self. is ready to just be what it always has been before the conditioning. Okay? So if your inner child been screaming at you, if your ego been really you saying that you really do sabotage yourself, you procrastinate, you do stuff that communicate to your body that you hate it, you know all of that. So just know that that is happening because the divine child in you, this new earth is created by the divine child. Okay? So when you have the innocence of a child, you will become more fearless. And it won't be fearless in a way, you will probably be fearless and laughing at people who are a whole fucking portal and got a whole, did you see the movie Legion? That's what's happening to people. It happened to Ernest today. Like, it's no judgment to admit that happens to you.
Right.
When it happens to me, I know, and I be like, yo, babe, I ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in some shit right now. I'll just say it, but so you remove the judgment from it.
Yeah.
But just
More
observe
you can
it.
admit to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
when
by
you
admitting to it, it keeps
recognize
you
it more.
liberated.
Yeah.
See? That's one other thing the Bible
Thank you.
got right, that confessing brings
Ashe.
healing.
Thank you,
Ashe.
Corey. May they return
Oh,
back
good.
to you.
Ashe.
30, 60, 100-fold.
Yes.
Yeah.
We appreciate you too. That shit happening on the atomic level, huh? It's cellular.
Okay.
Was it okay? Was it more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're gonna give you out. We're gonna give you some more. You want a little bit? Give you some more.
Bala is said to be Lolita's breath. What does that mean? Breath keeps energy flowing through the body. When Bala declares that she wants to fight, it is the stirring of an honest and natural impulse within. To breathe is instinctive. The childlike wildness, unaffected, untamed of Bala is the unconditioned self that knows how to move toward its natural fulfillment. Our mind may step in to say no or to give reasons why it is not appropriate, like the unconventional notion of a little girl as a powerful, conquering war hero. Yet, the innate wisdom of the soul needs to be allowed to manifest. She is not fighting for the sake of it. She is fighting against the evil she sees. To allow Sri Bala to arise within is to allow for the protective spirit that sees truthfully and acts with purity and fearless commitment to the path, even if our mother worries about our life choices at first. The Divine Mother empowers her, and so too empowers us to manifest our destinies with her help. Trust in your destiny. You are more than capable of the task for which your heart yearns.
She is breath, y'all. The very thing that they are stopping us from having.
Okay.
See who's standing behind her though.
Okay, y'all. This is the invocation
She's
ritual.
unfuckwittable. Trust and believe.
So this gonna require everybody's participation. Place your hand at your heart and feel. Imagine or intend to make a connection with the original wisdom and inner knowing within. This wisdom and clarity is your primordial divine nature. It would have been strongest in you as a child, before societal conditioning and life experiences taught you to adapt and defend yourself. Your intention to connect may need to travel beneath layers of belief, reactions to suffering, family, or cultural projections, and so on. Beneath such things, the original wisdom still breathes life into you. Believe it is possible and effortless to drop beneath all layers and simply feel the vital breath of your true nature deep within. It is pure spiritual instinct and inner soul intelligence. Connect beneath the mind and the stories as you breathe.
That's exactly what I was telling y'all to do. Like, when I got this, it was a done deal. And I knew it. This darkness is not here to harm you. It will only harm those who do not give it direction, deliberate intention. If you are not living mindfully and deliberately, your divine child can't even be heard because all of the parts of you ignore is screaming for healing and integration. We are very dangerous right now. We are the weapons of mass destruction. We have what, 6 subtle bodies? And we don't even really know what to do with the physical body. More or less the emotional body, the mental body, the astral body. Like, we don't even know. We're children in the universe. We are, on a collective level, the divine child in the universe right now. But nobody told us. We got contracts in this realm, the astral realm, all of this shit is impacting us now. So when it's showing up, it's just because the contracts, that's basically your higher self saying, here you go. Well, what's this? Oh, this was another contract that you got. When stuff come up, just recognize this is something you got a contract with, and you got a choice point now to choose what to do with it. So you can renew the lease, and depending on how much you enjoy hell, you can renew the lease, or you can say, no, I already found me another place. It's a matter of choice. If anybody telling you that it's a long process and it took me this minute, don't listen to that. That may have been for them. That may not even be for you. We got to stop one size and fitting all in the woke community, in the conscious community. It's not one size fit all. That's why when I channel and share information, I typically give multiple perspectives. The more multidimensional you become, the more you're able to see things from many different angles, which is why we are actually the real angels. We the angels and the demons. We all of it.
That's right.
We the slave and the master. And so when you forcing everybody around you to be a certain way so you can be a certain way, you a fucking emotional tyrant. And you around here manipulating everybody around you to keep you in a space to feel comfortable with you instead of just letting people just be and show you who they are, show you what contracts they got, observing it, not judging it, allowing it to teach you. Maybe you help them if they're open to it, right? And then all of those moments are no longer disappointments, but opportunities. Can we stop seeing everything as some type of disappointment and see it as an opportunity to create a new timeline, to change the trajectory of your life based on your actions, decisions, and thoughts? So when Ernest get to a choice point, and I know he don't recognize, I can see the splits. So like, just like that's why the Mandela effect is happening, because when we observe energy as it collides, what it does is behave differently and it is split. Don't get me started with the spooky shit at a strange distance. See, quantum physics is spirituality. It is metaphysics. Right. So everything that scientists is finding already existed, and a lot of our ancestors and indigenous cultures knew the information, but we didn't get it because we was told that it was evil. The real evil, not this one this talking about. This is talking about the shit that you perceive to be evil that's really in your life to make you stronger so that you can live. Okay? That shit talking about the wicked shit that we were just talking about to come from when you got ego attachments and want the inner child shit going on.
That's right.
So it's been beautiful.
What y'all saying here?
I could keep going and going and going and going and going. I'm not. I got to tap out and pull out of the Akashic Library. Because sometimes this shit blows my adrenals when I'm in it and doing it too much. Yeah. But I hope that you all appreciated this information.
Definitely.
I wasn't sure if I was gonna say this, but I am getting the nod to say this. So from this point forward, my divinity, I know who I am. And I am the bridge. I'm the bridge from religion to spirituality. I'm the bridge from 3D to 5D and upwards. I'm the bridge from hell and heaven, which is why I died twice. My heart completely stopped and I had to be resuscitated and put on life support twice in my lifetime. One time I went to heaven, one time I went to hell. I paid the cost to be the spiritual boss that I am. So I know that that's my space. I'm not expecting big numbers or anything. Don't let numbers trick you. Numbers can give you signs and symbols to direct you, but they can also trick you because the matrix will show you numbers to make you feel some kind of way. So I've been trying to figure out what else can I do to be of service to others, right? Because I know a lot of y'all are really ready for the work, like on a mentor level, where like I'm giving you things just like what I do. I'm literally just being who I am, but I'm doing it in a setting of a small group, and we can meet maybe bi-weekly, discuss a couple things, I channel, pull some cards or whatever. So if that sounds like something you interested in, like it, comment, let me know. When I come back and see it, I'm like, okay, we got this many people. Whenever, that's how we create everything. So if this resonates with you, and if our frequency resonate with you, we will create that program just for that point, because a lot of people don't know the rules of engagement in the underworld. And so that's what I will be teaching, the rules of engagement in the underworld. Everything is different. For most of my fellas here, your women may be their child self right now, because that's the collective consciousness. We are all healing our inner child. That's why she came up. Her divine self, before she was wounded, came up tonight. So for you fellas, if you notice, that is a masculine energy standing behind her. But I know, we know, we've talked about this. We've just really started feeling this deeply, that just because you were male don't mean that you became a man. Our ceremonies, our rituals to become men was taken away from us. So we have regressed, and our development has been arrested, especially men. Most men, at the age that you had so much emotional trauma you couldn't tolerate anymore. I mean, just born in a world where being a black man makes you, a danger. People see you as a predator, because you really are. So they become the predator, treat you like the sheep, mistreat you, kill you, lock you up, all that shit. That's a lot of trauma. So for a lot of men, you never develop emotional resilience and emotional maturity. We recognize that. We are seeking a way to remedy that as well, because it's a huge problem.
That's right.
Ladies, if you're in relationships, you're sometimes gonna see your man, whoever you with, you go see them switch up, and they'll go from being an adult to behaving like a child. Be gentle with them the same way you would with a child having a tantrum. Be patient, compassionate, but don't let nobody be abusing you. And make your boundaries very clear and enforce them. And when it gets to be too much, you say, okay, I was with you for a moment, but I got to pull out now. So you can come up with a code word. Remember the code? You need the code, right? To get the access. So have a code word. He might feel some kind of way about you just pulling out in the middle of conversation, especially if you've been telling him you want him to communicate more, because most men don't communicate well. That's not their strength. So just be like, hey, this is what I need to do. And then train your nervous system to be okay with him having a tantrum, because you're telling him, I'm stepping away and I'm gonna let you finish having your tantrum. Okay? That's probably gonna trigger his ego more. But just know you're dealing with a little boy who came into a world that was so vicious, that made him feel so vulnerable. And so it's actually divine for it to be seen. Until they learn a better way to work it through, it just comes up and bubbles out, because they don't really know how to open up themselves and just be open and free. Okay? So that's one of the rules of engagement for people in relationships. I always want to add something, because we are twin flames and soulmates. I like to add stuff to help y'all with y'all relationship.
Thank you, Miss G.
I
And the
say
child
Miss
is
G.
wounded, and you've been working on healing. Yeah.
May they
Bless you,
return to
bless
you
you,
too.
bless you.
Yeah. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Okay. So look like we're getting a lot of people to resonate with these rules of engagement for being in the underworld. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got new products. Go check out the new
Definitely.
products. We got a new webinar coming.
Go to the website. We got a few of those coming.
Yes, and there's a lot of good stuff on Patreon that you can't see anywhere else because they you know.
Yeah, that's what they need to be for right now.
Yeah. So it's for the sacred. That's connecting with the sacred messages. So that's on Patreon. Those links are in the description of all of our videos. Okay. So if you have a hard time finding anything, everything is in the description of the video. And once this one processes, we will then put it in the description of this video as well. So it will be there. We appreciate y'all. When you go out into the week, just remember Ghostbusters was a documentary. When you get in a situation, go back to Ghostbusters in your mind and be like, wait a minute, do I need to go and get the, what is it called? A proton reactor?
Something like that.
Do I need to go get the proton right now? Photon reactor, whatever it was called, right? Then one of the moments, do I need to take this ghost and collide the particles? You know what I'm saying? Give my attention,
Pack. Okay.
shoot my beam to the situation by bringing it to light, right? And then put it in a neat little space. You can isolate. You ain't gotta be a thermometer all day. You can be a thermostat. Just practice setting the environment inside of yourself, in your inner sanctuary. That's what I talked about when I went on Ani's show. I told him, dude, this is what I'm really feeling. So yes, these are the rules of engagement. So tomorrow, y'all probably gonna see freak accidents everywhere, hear a lot of really terrible stuff on the news, things that probably gonna happen even in your own family, really close to you, that just shocks you and you don't even know what to say. It's okay. It's part of the process. We're gonna get through this. And if you're watching this, it's because your higher self is fucking with you in a good way, in a beneficial way, not good, beneficial way, where it's tethering you and calling you to the people who are speaking what is actually liberating people. So let that be confirmation that you're on the right path. Keep doing what you're doing. Binge watch if you need to. Take notes. Like I said, this stuff ain't in no books nowhere.
That's right.
I just channel this information and it's been accurate for over a decade now.
And if for those of you that may have had an opportunity to get the decoding, the DMX decoding that we did yesterday, that was so phenomenal. Wow.
Yeah. I impressed myself.
If you on now with us and you were a part of that, leave us a testimony. Yeah, definitely leave a testimony. Other than that,
yeah, that's it.
Okay.
All right. So we go slide up out of here. Y'all, REMNANTSGATHERING.com is already in the description. Thank you to all the new people. We appreciate y'all for joining us. You see what we doing over here. You see why you probably can't search and find us. Right? You know, it's just like, oh shit, I'm the type of motherfucker. You give me a key, I'm finna go make a copy of that bitch, and I'm finna pass them out. Shit, you get a key, you get a key, you get a key. Fuck these prison cells. Let's get free.
Right. That's
that
right.
shit rhyme. I wasn't even trying, but you know, it be like that.
See,
that's that word magic. That's that white wizard shit. Y'all need to watch that decoding.
Yeah.
Because we went into that white wizard shit. DMX was on some white wizard shit.
Man.
And white wizards right now, white wizards on the planet right now, know your galactic signature.
Period.
Everybody.
Period.
Natal chart, all that shit is great. But your galactic signature is your harmonic frequency of your soul.
That's right.
Not your programming.
That's right.
That predicts the programming you agreed to come into to be whole. Watch the webinars. We chat about it. We got advanced. We got the part 2 of everything. Everything that we do, we give it free. And then we do a paid one where we go deeper for those that want to go deeper.
Yeah, Yellow Star. I'm a Yellow Star too. Yeah, that's what's
up. I love Yellow Stars. This y'all year. This the year of the yellow seas. So it's like yellow.
In the house. Yeah. Y'all share this video.
Yes.
Continue to see this message right here. it definitely needs to continue to reach those people that are searching and already ready for it. And sometimes the only way that we can help people faster along, because we know everything is moving fast,
Yeah.
is to share the information that we know it'll resonate with people.
Use it while you can, because I don't
Yeah.
even know how long I'm going to have internet.
Because they ain't gonna want this type of stuff to
Nah.
be widespread and getting into
White
and
spectrum
getting into people.
mirror. I shade. That's
Yeah.
unique. I don't meet a lot of white spectrum mirrors. I love it. See how we can talk that galactic signature talk. BB Life, we did webinars on that, and they all on the website.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right, y'all.
So for those of you who know, you know what we about to do. For those of you who don't, you will know next time, and hopefully you can say it with us and really feel the vibration of being intimate with this part of yourself, the part of yourself that they don't even want to be a working organ anymore, the part of yourself that's under attack, right? We're going to open this energy
Earl,
up
go to our
and
website.
just be intimate with a part of yourself that is the most amazing thing to connect with.
You can Google that. He's saying, how can you know about his galactic signature? I'm saying go
Yeah.
to the website.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's all on the website.
Yeah.
Just watch the free webinar,
Yeah.
and we give you all the links, resources, free ebooks. We be doing all that shit, connecting y'all with everything we can. All right, ready? Let your wizard. Maybe we need to do a galactic signature joint. I love the roll call. You know, they be
Yeah.
like, Libra in the house.
Yeah.
Libra in the house. We be like, white wizard in the house. Yellow seed in the house. He be
Right,
like, what the
right.
fuck y'all talking about? Oh, we weirdos.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
All right.
Man,
Your third eye has just been kissed.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.